Hi, my name is Bea Fenton, and I'm doing a presentation about texting and driving and distracted drivers. Put your cell phones down. How many of us have been on our phone while we're driving and we looked over to pick up our phone to look at a text message or send a quick phone call? Most likely, many of us are guilty. I know I am. But after the incident I was involved in, I don't anymore. One afternoon, I was leaving work and I was driving down a side road that ran behind the hospital. The street is in a residential neighborhood and it has lots of little shops and restaurants and houses. The speed limit on this street was only about 20 miles per hour with traffic lights the whole way down the street. Well, I had been trying to get hold of my oldest son. It was the last day of school and his school was located on the east side of town and I was working all the way over on the west side of town. And of course I was running late. Well, we were stopped at a traffic light, but then the light turned green, so we all started to slowly accelerate. I was traveling about 10 miles an hour. I reached over to grab my phone. By the time I looked back at the road, all the cars in front of me were at a dead stop, and I slammed right into the car that was in front of me. I couldn't believe it. It was only maybe a second or two, maybe even milliseconds, but by the time I returned my focus back to the road, it was too late. Luckily, nobody was injured. The speed we were traveling at was so slow that the impact only did damage to my car. But my car was not drivable. The hood was smoking. The front of the car was smashed up against the windshield. It was terrible. I know it could have been worse, but drivers of all ages need to realize that distractions like these can sometimes end up being fatal. Did you know that cell phones are responsible in over 1.6 million car crashes each year? And from that, over 500,000 injuries occur and over 6,000 fatalities. Well, according to Focus Driven, up to 80% of all crashes involve some form of driver distraction. During any point of any given day, about 11% of all drivers are talking on their cell phones, according to the National Highway Safety Administration. Also, according to a study of the University of Utah, the reaction time of a teenager driving while using a cell phone is equivalent to the reaction time of a 70-year-old driver not using a cell phone. Did you get that visual image? So basically, the driver's reaction time is totally being compromised and the driver could end up in a dangerous situation. According to the Virginia Tech Transportation Institute, they installed cameras on all the dashboards inside of all their truck cabs. From the footage of those videos, it showed that it took 5 seconds with eyes off of the road when drivers experienced collisions. Well, in that short period of time, the distance covered in 5 seconds at a speed of 55 miles per hour is equal to that of a football field. Well, cell phones are here to stay, but we as responsible drivers need to be aware of the appropriate times to use the cell phones. Luckily today, most vehicles come equipped with some sort of hands-free technology or Bluetooth system that allows the driver to make and receive calls through the Bluetooth technology inside their phones and their smartphones. It's the same for sending and receiving text messages. You can actually talk the text messages through your phone and it'll send it and it'll actually read a text message back to you. Well, although this is a vast improvement, it is still a distraction nonetheless. Many of us are experiencing our teenagers starting to drive, and this is a difficult time. We as adults should set an example of responsible driving and stress the importance of safe driving and driving without all of these distractions. After all, our lives and the lives of others should come before that text message or that phone call or whatever else that could be distracting the driver, because everything else can wait. Remember, stay focused and safe driving. Thank you.